Oh, in 2007, I didn't really have a lot of expectations. We just wanted to get the program started. I don't even think the athletic director who hired me at that time had any great expectations. In fact, when I look back, I think their first objective was to have enough teams in the conference that would qualify for an automatic bid. So we had not had a lot of expectations, but at the same time, I'm a pretty competitive guy. So I wasn't just going to sit back and play it out and see what happens. I think initially credibility was an issue. A lot of times, like I try to recruit some of the area Americans, and people were saying, well, why would I send my kid to a school that's just starting a tennis program? We didn't have a lot of credibility, narrow curriculum, and so forth, meaning mostly business and stuff like that. So, and then it actually happened almost by accident, my very first recruit from Venezuela. The one thing we appeal to a lot of the international recruits is we do have business, which is translatable from the United States to the countries. And now we have English majors and psychology and sports management. All those things are transferable. Okay, so once I got that first international player, who was a terrific player, still probably one of our top 5, Luis Soto, I said, geez, maybe there's something here. So I just started getting more aggressive with it over the years, just trying to add to the lineups and go from there. So it was just like a logical thing, and we proved we can recruit internationally. Well, I think a coach is only as good as his players. So I go ahead and I just kept going and recruiting and recruiting. And some of my first teams in particular, and even some of the later teams, the kids wanted me to recruit better players all the time because they figured, okay, I want to be on a team that has really good players, and they encouraged me. They weren't afraid of the competition. Let's just keep bringing in good players and so on. And being competitive, I'm a builder based on my business career, so I just kept, churning and going and keeping at it in all hours of the night and recruit. So I didn't really have international recruiting experience till I got that first recruit. I took all of my past marketing and sales experience from business, which I had a lot of success with building a company and so on, and I said, I applied that strategy. What are 10 reasons you want to come to Goldey Beacom? I created those 10 reasons. You find out location, just like it is in businesses, it's everything. So I just kind of, just built on my own kind of marketing program and applied it to recruiting. I think I've always kind of just said the kids come first. The players come first. I believe in discipline. I believe in respect for the game. I like kids that have a passion for the game. That's what I try to recruit. So what we try to do is develop a sense of family, a willingness to help each other out. And I think that holds true. As you know, I tell the kids all the time, I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm worried about the effort. So my philosophy is I try to get everybody to give that effort 100% all the time. And that's kind of just what I do. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I never even had a tennis racket in my hand until I was 30 years old. Okay, and I was traveling all over the United States on business. And in those days, we didn't have emails, social media, stuff like that. So once my day was completed, unless I had a dinner meeting, I would go out and play tennis. So if I was in California, there's tons of courts outdoors there. I would rent a pro, take a lesson. And what I found was great because you take a lesson from all different kinds of people and something clicks and starts working for you. So I really developed a passion that way of saying, I really love this sport. I'd like to do something with it at some point in time. No real plan early, but later on it became very obvious when I retired early from business that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something in tennis. And then of course I had to have credibility too, so I went out and took the USPTA exams, 3 days, and you're doing all kinds of demonstrations, things like that to add the credibility. So, I just developed a passion that way. I think it's kind of interesting because it was what was first available, if you will, okay? I mean, I started coaching at a Division III school and a high school. We had some really good teams at that high school, Archmere here in Delaware. And I developed kind of a relationship with the kids. It seemed to work out. I could relate a lot to what the kids were going through, having 3 daughters, twin daughters. I've had 2 sets of twins here at Goldey, and following their programs, although I tell you, it's more difficult trying to teach your own kids a sport than it is somebody else. But I had an understanding, I think, of what to expect, not to expect from girls. Girls get over disappointment a lot quicker than the guys. And actually my biggest challenge was, because I played college football, was trying to not have that football mentality of rah, rah, go charge, everybody gets excitable and all that stuff. You can't do that in tennis. I think there's a couple of things. One, I really enjoyed giving an opportunity to the international kids to come to the United States. In other words, to have the kind of be empowered by the school to be able to offer a financial aid package to bring girls to the United States and help them with their passion, with their desire to get a U.S. education. I think that was, just one of those things that I felt really good about. And, kind of developing a sense of family with the team, and that's really rewarding to see these girls reach their goals. And then even afterwards, like right now, I have on social media, it's really great I've gone to 2 weddings, it's hard to believe, and one of my kids has kids, and watching that kind of stuff go on is just been really exciting to see. That's a real tough one, because sometimes I actually think about it and I'm saying, what could I have done differently? Because it's not a regret, but it's something that I'm always concerned when I recruit somebody, I really want them to be here for 4 years. I mean, that's what I do it because I believe in what I'm doing and I think it's best for them. If I have a regret and then I kind of think, well, what could I have done better? I haven't lost too many, but when I lose a student after a year or 2, the ones that get homesick, the ones that run out of money, if you will, I understand that, or some of them say, I'm only coming to the United States for a year or 2. But when a few of them only, but it's happened, is when they transfer out, that's my regret, because I hate to lose students who, not because they're excellent players or anything like that, just because I think that we're the right place for them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have recruited them in the first place. So that would be kind of a regret. What could I do differently? How could I have handled that? Maybe if I did something different, they'd still be here, kind of thing. It's really tough because I have so many memories. I can go back and say, okay, that very first win. I mean, we had really good kids who worked hard, but some of them never had a racket in their hand till that first year. And we just pulled kids out of the school, and we actually won a match. So that was really memorable. And then, following that, it's like my first international recruit is memorable. My first U.S. recruit, I did have one U.S. recruit, Stephanie Baines. And, and then all of a sudden our first NCAA qualification, 10 years ago or so. That was pretty memorable. And then all the kids that came along, and it's not over yet. We still got some memories next week. So it just goes on, and the memories are just many. One thing about Facebook that's kind of interesting is all of a sudden a picture pops up of 5 years ago, and you're saying, wow, does that bring back memories? So I got so many that I really couldn't say any one memory or moment sticks out. I think I'd say is be yourself, be true to yourself. There's no sense of entitlement. You're not guaranteed anything in life. You've got to work for it, work hard, be the best you can be at what you do. And always, never assume you know it all. When I was in business, I would go to one seminar after another, even if I was successful and I gave a lot of speeches, but I never assumed I knew enough. So I think if you go through life and never assume that you have reached it, have you got all the knowledge you think you should have, I would say keep going, keep learning, and work hard. And I think you'll be rewarded for that over time. Excuse me. I'll give you one word: family. That's the way I look at the team. It's been dear to my heart, and I'm really proud of the fact that I think, and like a family, we have our differences. And I can't say we fight, but we have our differences and so on, but that's okay, because that's what family's all about. And I think the closeness of all our players, or even players who haven't met players from the past, when they come together, they seem to all click. And so I say it's one word: it's family. And that's what I'm most proud of.